Hi, so this is going to be the remake video of my tips for long-term survival SMP. The first tip I have is planning ahead. Brainstorm projects you think that you might want to do on an SMP, and I've listed some examples here. Like, for example, you might want to do a mega base and starter base, and mainly you want to think of like a theme for them usually, and a good way, if you don't have any ideas of how to find a theme for them, is to find inspiration online. That's how I usually do like majority of my builds for my building time lapses. I find inspiration online, and I kind of use that as a reference to get better at building. And don't worry, you don't have to do everything all at once. You don't have to build up your base all at once. Just take your time with it, enjoy the process, and just keep in mind that you don't have to do everything at once. The next idea I have is an industrial district. For example, like, think of some farms that you might want to, like, build that will help you progress through the game and get resources faster, and, like, make a district out of it, because that's a cool idea that you can do, potentially. And, in Hermitcraft, this seems to be a popular trend as well, and you can definitely, like, potentially, like, theme your district as well, and, like, make builds around it, and make it more interesting if you don't want to just like build farms. You can also like just make it more aesthetically pleasing in general. The next idea I have is building server minigames for like the community to get more involved in. So brainstorm potential minigames that you can like play with people, and if you have no idea what to do, again, what I usually do is I look for inspiration online in order to see like what mini games I can build. That's what I did in Alpha for my dunk tank mini game. I looked for inspiration online and then I came up with the idea for it. Just remember, not everything has to be completed. Not all your projects have to be completed in SMP. Just enjoy the process of doing them and enjoy like stepping out of your comfort zone for once and maybe trying something new as well. SMPs are a huge opportunity to do this and like expand your knowledge of Minecraft and stuff. Also, it's very important that you like schedule like sometimes during like the month to just work on like these projects and to just like sit down for like an hour even just to like work on it and don't like procrastinate on it. Another very important tip is finding ways to keep an SMP more active. This is very important in order for the server to not fall apart. So some examples I came up with that I've learned from Alphea and other servers is that server events are very vital to keeping an SMP active. If you want to do server events or plan them, this is definitely like one of the best ways to include members and keep the SMP rolling. Like, this is how Alphea had kept going on for all this time. It's because we did like hide and seek events, bingo events, we did lore events too, we did all that stuff. And another way to keep it more active is creating a server storyline or lore. As you know, like most SMPs probably do this nowadays. But don't worry, not everyone has to partake in it. It's optional, obviously, but it's a good way to keep the server running. There's also server minigames, which we like said before. It makes the server more active as well because it gives a sense of community. And basically, like all of these are for like getting to know each other and like making more of a community on the server and a more active community at best. But there's also like you can do like local community areas, kind of like what Hermitcraft does, where they do like a shopping district, or you can do a different type of district. It doesn't even have to be a shopping district. You can have a local industrial district too, for all that matters. Now this one kind of links to the first one, but take your own pace at an SMP. I see a lot of members suffer from like getting like full gear and getting like their elytras and then being like, well, what do I do next? I don't know what to do next. I'm kind of bored now. I see a lot of members suffer with not knowing what to do next, and the main cause is because they rushed to accomplish everything quickly within the first couple of months of the SMP, and now they're kind of like done. And the second cause is they don't really plan things ahead of time, and then they kind of just don't know what to do after they get like their gear and stuff. But I have some solutions to this. Some solutions is like, take it at a slower pace, kind of like step back and make sure you're not rushing to do everything. Like, you don't need that netherite right away. No. You can take it slower. You can maybe like build a base in between, something like that. And if you feel like you're struggling from boredom a little bit, there's always an option to take a break and till you have new ideas for the SMP. It's always good to take a little bit of a break from it anyway. Now for this one, some solutions I have is think of what you can improve. So say you have your gear and stuff already done, but you don't have anything planned out. Just look around and think, what can you improve in your world and make more interesting? Like, for example, maybe your starter base is not as appealing as you once thought it was. Make it more aesthetically pleasing, or expand it, make it bigger. Just do whatever you can to possibly improve it, and that way you kind of get like an idea of what to do. You can also brainstorm possible challenges that you can do as well, like new ones, obviously, not what you can improve, but like completely new ones. And if you don't have the creativity for this, there's always the option of looking for inspiration online, or to ask friends even for some inspiration. Another way to improve your SMP is to just add like mods or something, or like data packs, or even plugins to just spice it up a little bit. This is the most optional one because I know not everyone enjoys mods and plugins, but it's definitely there, and it's definitely a thing that you can use. Final tip I have is inviting the right people to the server. Inviting the wrong people can result in drama happening quite frequently on the server. For example, someone grieves another person's base, but you do not know who did it, and no one owns up to it. This can lead to distrust between members. It also causes unnecessary stress to the owner and everyone else on the SMP. If someone treats you poorly, or others, it can be stressful and hard on the mental health as well. And then this can also result in people being unhappy or possibly leaving the SMP. For example, you're the person who got griefed on the server, and now you need to rebuild your base all over again. This actually happened on an SMP I was once on, which I can imagine that is only terrible, having to rebuild everything you did. So it could lead to both emotional damage and no motivation to build again. This is just a thing to keep in mind, but if you know someone who has a reputation of rule breaking, don't invite them to the SMP. Just don't. It'll make your life a lot easier.